Welcome to Liberated Grounds.
I'm driving around over there.
Yeah. You remember for years.
Crazy because we're really doing this. You know, you saw her play. She was. It's me throwing you in.
Every time. I'm like, what?
It was land and Walmart.
Right there. That was my bad. But no, I right.
Stepping up, tuning in, because this episode is called
Peace. Welcome to Liberated Grounds. This is episode 2 for y'all. We're keeping this thing rolling. Last week we had Newly Made and Dr. J. If you haven't had a chance to go check out that episode, please do on our YouTube channel at liberatedgrounds.com. Also, be sure to tune in with us on our Instagram at Liberated Grounds. And for more information, you can find us at liberatedgrounds.com. This week we have some amazing creatives joining us, chapter members, charter members, founders. I want y'all to tune in with what we're doing. But first, we're going to get started with the journal. If you're not already journaling, please consider getting yourself a journal, because journaling helps you keep your thoughts together. Here's to mastering our world. A few thoughts from back in 2019. Are you intentional? Let's keep this one simple. Do you listen? Do you read? Do you grow? Do you think? Do you do? To do? Doing, done? Are you thinking of all three of these different things? To do, doing, done. Knowing and operating in your knowledge. What keeps us from being intentional? Our focus, our discipline. We talked about that last week. Our willingness to grow, just to name a few things. Being intentional about your growth, about winning, comes from your willingness to do what you must do today to win tomorrow. Let's level up. So, today we have some of my favorite creatives in the community coming out to speak with us. I want y'all to give them some love. First up, we have founding member Jordan Holland.
Let's slide around the gym.
So, give it up for Jordan Holland, who is coming to the space.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
He has joined us at the table. We're glad to have you here.
Glad to be at the table.
How are you feeling about us having a podcast?
I'm lit. I'm excited because you know I love to talk.
We're here.
I love to talk. So I'm actually here for it. But I mean, I actually enjoy podcasts a lot. I listen to them when I be driving and writing, things like that. So yeah. I think it's awesome that Liberated Grounds is expanding.
Absolutely.
I think that we have nuggets, knowledge, and just an experience to offer people that they never had before. So yeah, let's do it.
And plus the people want to know, right? Y'all want to know.
They want to know everything.
They want to know.
They want to know. You're right. Yes.
So we're here to tell them what's going on. We're excited to share with them some of the things we've had happen at Liberated Grounds. What are some of your favorite things?
I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm going to toot my own horn, but our Quarter 4 production that I directed and produced and assisted in that process, it was lit. But I can be honest and say that almost every project that I've been a part of, I've loved. Yeah. And maybe one that's near and dear to my heart is the Nugent one. It's just... Yeah,
Nugent Smith, shout out.
Is it, what house is it? Bundle House. Bundle House. It's lit. That was an amazing experience for me.
Follow him on Instagram at Bundle House.
Period. Okay?
That's still what I can't hear.
It was the hand for me.
I saw somebody do it on YouTube once.
No, it's good. That's right there. But no, Bundle House. Yeah. So that was an amazing experience. And I think for me, I didn't have an expectation. Yeah. But I went in there with the energy to receive. And how I showed up for myself was kind of surprising because I knew that's who I was, but also it was a step further, and I sat back and looked at myself and I said, I'm doing the things that I said I wanted to do. And that was an amazing moment to hear Nugent come back full circle and say how impactful I was, even though I had no clue.
So I just want to say you're giving the same energy in this podcast because it's giving full circle. It's giving, you didn't know what was happening tonight, but we're here.
Period.
And you're morphing into your best self.
I mean, as always.
And
you
you're
know,
growing
but
and expanding, and
absolutely.
sometimes you can't always plan it out. But once you're in the moment,
you have to show up.
and you're gonna show up. He's gonna show up every time.
I've
known him for a long time.
No, I'm gonna show up.
He's gonna show up.
I'm gonna show up. I got to know it
And this
because
is why we're
we
here.
don't want anyone to catch you slipping. And the reality is, I think in our minds we often create scenarios. We create things and how we want it to be that cater to us, and that actually lend itself to being a comfortable situation. But the reality is, we should be comfortable in operating in uncomfortable situations because that's where we show up as our best selves.
That's right.
Always.
That's
and
right.
so for me, I always love something planned out. I know I love knowing all the details, and you've been my friend for years. You've been my friend for years. And she knows this about me, but I'll tell you this right now. She doesn't care because she's going to always
gonna say something about me.
throw me into something. No, it's you. It's Emmy.
It's me.
Emmy.
It's me throwing you in.
Every time. I'll be like, what? And Angel knows that I'm not going to say no because the reality is there's nothing that I haven't done or been a part of that hasn't been mind-blowing. Something that allowed me to show up as my best self, something that allowed me to give back but also receive as well. So in Liberated Grounds, it's been that. Did I really want to be the director of the Quarter 4 production? Absolutely not. But I said to myself, who better else to do it than me? Who better else to lead the people? Who better else to actually have this knowledge and this wherewithal and like show up? And I did. And it was awesome. And again, I'll be honest, I have my own expectations of what it was. But the reality is, what I prayed for, what I manifested, what I said I wanted to be, it was all of that. And so, I can't pick just one, but I have several favorite events that I've been a part of with LG.
Yeah, and you can say that you want to grow, but you don't always get to decide how you grow.
That's exactly it. Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Because I say, you're right. It's our prayers. It's what we believe, what we put out in the atmosphere. We're always ready to grow, but the reality is, what if that prayer 3 years ago that you prayed about wanting to grow is not applicable 3 years later?
That's right.
And the prayer you're praying right now wanting to grow, it ain't going to manifest for another 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So we don't always get to choose how we grow, but we're growing.
That's right, but we're growing.
Every time.
That's right. That's good. So, last episode, we got into our disciplines: eat well, sleep well, be well. What's your favorite one? And why?
Well, it would really be two of them: eat well and sleep well. Because I'm someone who loves to nourish his body in the best way. But I'm a foodie. I love food. Like, let's do it. Like, let's go to the new restaurant. Let's go drink. All the things. But also, be well. I mean, for me, rest well. Excuse me. Is important.
Sleep well.
Sleep well. Excuse me.
Now, which one is it?
It's all of them.
It's good.
Because I need sleep.
Because
no, I do.
We need it.
It's running on 3 hours, and we're making it work. You know,
Jordan.
Emmy.
Today is Wednesday. We're supposed to rest today. After this.
Did we?
Did we rest?
Are we?
Are we resting?
It's a hope and a dream.
Okay. Oh.
It's a hope and a dream. But no, two of my favorite ones are, yes, eat well, sleep well. It's a recharge for me every time. But also, the Sunday dinners and eating well with a community of people and nourishing our bodies with food made by an amazing chef that was conscious about what she wanted to pour into us as we ate.
Absolutely.
And what she wanted us to experience as we ate.
Shout out to Master Chef Arba.
Period. She's amazing.
Also, this is the table.
No, this is the table that expands.
It expands. I told him
This
last
is
week.
No, this table gets it.
This is our table.
No, it's our table. So please come have a seat.
They're having a seat right now.
Every time. You sitting with us right now.
That's right.
But yeah, so that is one of the ones. But also, it's the conversation that is facilitated after a good meal. It's the conversation that happens after the good meal. For me, it's we ate well amongst our people.
That's
and
right.
we're feeling away and we're able to just really connect in that way. So that's been a blessing, but also sleep well.
That's right.
That's where I feel like for me it's the recharge. I haven't always been able to be a part, but what I know is the meditation and just the focus of what happens when we rest.
Yes.
And when we come back to ourselves, it's always better. So those are probably two of my favorites.
We want to give our liberators online an opportunity to participate with us. So we shared with them that we have these wellness events. Our rest is a collective rest that we do on Wednesdays, like today. Are there any other ideas or thoughts that you have where they can actually participate with us, even though they're not in the city?
You can do this at home at any time.
Yeah.
Our events don't really change. Our Sunday dinners are every third Sunday, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not with us, why not be at your house and take some time to prepare a wonderful vegan-based or plant-based meal and know that we're eating
good.
at about 4 o'clock. So eat with us. Even though
Invite some friends. Maybe.
Invite some friends over and facilitate a conversation or a community in a safe space where people can just be themselves and just be amongst people, you know. So if we're doing it here and you're doing it wherever you are, it's the same energy. And so it's even more magnified and it has much more expansion. So you can always be a part. We rest every Wednesday at the same time. So do the same thing to be connected with us even though you're not physically here.
No, that's good.
That's it.
So let's talk a little bit more about energy. What does liberation mean to you?
It means a lot of things, honestly. But I think at the core and at the root of liberation for me, it's freedom. It is freedom in every aspect, in every sense of the word. There are so many things that we actually are really tied down and bogged by. And when I think about liberation for just us as a people, I really think we have a hard time grasping what true liberation really means for us and living in that all the time. The first thing that comes to mind is freedom, because with liberation, I feel and I believe that I have freedom to do, be, and show up however. And we can't really do that here in this world and in what's going on in this time. However, in our own world, if that makes sense for anybody, in our own world, we can always do that if we are freeing ourselves from the things that are holding us in bondage or holding us down. And I think it's a real conscious thing for me for liberation, because the society has had an effect on us in a way to where things are so subconscious and so habitual that we don't really realize that actually could be a little bondage.
Yeah.
That actually could be preventing me from being my best self. You know, so it's really assessing that. But also, I think liberation for everyone is different because everyone's process and where they are in life and how they show up is different. For me, it's freedom. And when I say freedom, I mean freedom in every sense of the word. And I think a lot of my colleagues, friends, very close people who know me know that I show up as this light. And I feel as though the more that I've explored my freedom or my liberation in this world, the more brighter my light has gotten and the more impactful it has gotten. So I say that, and it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress because everything that I want to be free from, I ain't free from yet, you know? Right. We're working to get there. But liberation for me means freedom, and it means the freedom to just be yourself, who you were created to be, and it is to allow that to operate in all spaces and places without limitation.
That's good. And the thing about Liberated Grounds is like we're not showing up fake, we're showing up with what we have, who we are. Yes, we're pulling on resources and we're valuing ourselves differently. And when we're operating in a collective, it's just something about collective work and responsibility that has us showing up differently for one another. I don't know. Is that? But it ties into what this it's energy. It's energy. It's everyone on that same page. Like we may be at different levels, but there is a common thread of an energy of let's be in community and with one another, but also let me be myself in this and show up as my best self so that there is connection in that. That's good. So let's throw another energy in this space. I want y'all to give it up for chapter member John Joe.
Let's do it.
All the things. We're going to talk about all, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about all the things. I want to open the floor by just kind of saying, what brought you to this point? I don't want to give more than that. I just want to open the floor. What brought you to this point?
You want to go first?
All right.
Go ahead.
No. Leaving it right there is appropriate.
Okay.
Because I'm going to define it for myself. And I know what point I'm being brought to at. And I'm going to say that it is fearlessness, but also love of self and being committed to who I am. Mm-hmm. That's got me to this point, actually to this very moment right now.
Oh, wow.
To this very moment right now.
Wow.
And those are things that I committed to maybe more so within the last year. But I was very clear with what I wanted for 2023 to be. And I said, I'm stepping every day into exactly that. So to have that question be asked is literally fearlessness. Because the reality is, if I take a look back at my life over the last year, before I made the commitment to do this, it's a little crazy in the regard that I lived in fear. That I actually didn't fully step into all the things. And I sat with myself and thought about a lot of things. So I say fearlessness in the regard that I'm doing everything that naturally, intrinsically within my spirit that actually like screams out, I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. I'm not making it something else, changing it to be something else, or putting it to the side. And I say that because why aren't we listening to that first voice? Mm-hmm. Why are we listening to the first voice that actually tells you what you should be doing, and before you waste your time and make it something else and waste another month, 2 months, or make it a whole new scenario?
Right.
Yeah. Why are you listening to the first voice that told you what to do, even if it seemed crazy, even if it seemed like how? Mm-hmm. Why? And I'm listening to that first voice. I've been doing it every day. As much of a challenge as it is, it's allowed me to show up fearlessly, but also it's actually allowed me to show my work. And,
That's
so
right.
you actually are that person. It really is that. So, yeah, what got me to this point is fearlessness and living in purpose and being about the business of showing up for who I am.
But you know, to answer that question, I think that why aren't we listening to our first voice? Is that from like childhood? Is that from like school system?
It's everything. I had a very deep conversation with a close friend of mine, and they literally asked me, they said, so the first thing that actually like comes to you when things happen, why don't you listen to that? Why don't you listen? Mm-hmm. I made up every answer in the book. And then I sat to myself and I said, wait a minute, hold on. This goes back way further than that. It goes back way further than that. And everybody's experience is different. But the first thing that came to mind was I wasn't taught to listen to my first voice.
Oh, wow.
I was never encouraged to listen to my first voice. I was actually never... It was the first voice made it seem like it was the wrong voice. And I say that because that's where the church that I grew up in, I'm not saying that's what it was, but it wasn't taught that the first voice is the real spirit of you speaking about who you really are.
Let him cook.
I'm saying it never was that. So that first voice is like, that can't be real. My friend said, how are you allowing yourself to question a natural thing that intrinsically comes from you, like spot on, that is right? Because the question after that was, so how many times have you not listened to that first voice, and when it came back, it was the first voice that was right?
That's right.
It is a gather. It's like it's too many times. And I say it goes back to my childhood and not actually knowing, or a mentor, a parent, a sister, a brother, anybody speaking to, listen to that first voice, because that is your truest self.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is I'm surrounded by people who do get it.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm able to see, wow, this is a life that I could be living. Because the reality is that first voice, as crazy as it is, it's the right voice.
That's right.
As crazy as it is, it's the right voice.
It's the right
voice.
voice.
And all you have to do is show up and be yourself, and you will be led, and everything will work out. But for me, the moment I take that first voice and question it and say, this can't be right. That's not me. Wait a minute, hold on. And make that whole thing a whole new thing. I'm lying to myself and everything. You know what I'm saying? So we were never taught it, or I was never taught it, to listen to it or be okay with it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's your conscience or whatever it is, but the reality is that is yourself. That is literally your spirit speaking to you. And I say that to say that this year, starting out 2023, I made it my goal to be sensitive to listen to my first self. Mm-hmm. Man, it's crazy when you do it.
Life-changing.
It's been life-changing.
It's been
life-changing.
I'm going to say it took me a while to get there, man.
Me too. I'm 34.
To expand on that, I would say, that first voice, for some reason, I doubted it.
Yeah.
I doubted it.
Yes.
And I didn't want to, and you have to be fearless to listen to that first voice. Yeah. And to really take up that first intuition, to be like, I don't know, for some reason, there's a hesitation, you know what I'm saying? Because life is it's like double dutch, you know what I'm saying? You don't know when to jump in, when the rope is going to hit you in the face, you know what I'm saying? And I'll say what led me here, man. I used to think it was a lot of mistakes, and when I used to really dwell on the mistakes that I thought that I was making, it really had me in a place that I wasn't benefiting. You know what I'm saying? So, but now I look at it as all of those things that happened got me here. You know what I'm saying? And I used to think what if I had done this and what if I had done this? And the thing that I'm realizing in old age, whatever, that life is still gonna life. No
Every
matter
time,
what
right.
the situation may have
Every
been.
day.
Every day.
Like, it might have been this way, but life definitely gonna come in and tell you, this is me.
Yeah.
You think you got this right here, but let me show you.
Yeah.
That's right.
So just trying to navigate through those situations, man, I would definitely say, though, like, doubt on that first voice hindered me a lot.
Yeah.
But now that I just keep taking off on that first voice now, man,
I'm trying to tell you.
That's a shame.
I'm just not getting onto it. Like, my friends be laughing at me because they be like, oh, you just not, now you listening? That's the thing. Oh, now you listening? Yeah, I'm listening now because I get it. But like, the joke is a little bit like you a little late with it. But the reality is I'm not late with it. But it's funny because I'm like a new kid. I done found a new thing and I'm ready to explore it. And I'm like, but there are people who've been doing this, and they be like,
yeah,
we love it. It's good to see it. Like, but like, it's good to see it. But like, get with it. It's not.
Truthfully, man, I used to carry myself like I got this.
Yeah.
And when I was going home at night,
Got it.
but
Maybe
you make
nice.
it look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like fake it till you make it type thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like I really feel like I'm in my bag.
Love it.
Right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cooking with my own sauce and the own ingredients that I know is gonna work.
Period.
And make this taste good.
And truth be told, there are moments where we might be going home thinking like, imposter syndrome. Do I really have it? Is it really, am I really giving what I think I'm giving? Are people receiving it that way? Am I who I think I am? Who I want to be seen as? All these things.
Yeah.
And I'm sure y'all can relate with that as
Absolutely.
well. So how do you battle that? What comes next?
The battling. No, it's not even a battle because it's what we say. It's the truth, acknowledging the truth. That is imposter syndrome. The reality is check yourself. Check yourself real quick and say, wait a minute, are you supposed to be here? Are you qualified? Are you equipped?
It's so easy to say, but it's
It's hard to do. No, and I'm telling you, I've had imposter syndrome for so long, but I'm saying, when I say I want to change, it's what I say. So if I say I want to change and I no longer want to have imposter syndrome or I no longer want to be bound by things that don't allow me to be my best self,
Facts.
I believe that when I speak those words, everything within my body, my mind, and soul says, okay, now we're on alert. So anytime it's that, I'm bringing it to your attention. For me. So then I'm aware. Then I'm aware and it's like, oh, I got to call it out. I got to call it out. So yeah, you talk about, I literally talked to myself on Monday. I had a whole meeting with a team of people and I said, am I sure I'm supposed to be the guy for this job? It was a whole 2-minute conversation. And then my mind said, shut up. Yeah. And they said, look at your work. And I went back and I said, I am the guy for this job.
Right.
And I said to myself, I have created what it is supposed to look like. Right. And nobody ever said it was supposed to look, Nobody ever said it was supposed to look the way that I said it. So the reality is, yeah, you qualified.
Nobody told me
the road would be easy, right? But, come on.
Believe he brought me this far.
Go ahead.
To leave.
You ain't going nowhere. So yeah, all I say is that imposter syndrome is real, but I say if you want to change it or if you want to actually do something about it, it's literally making yourself aware of every time you self-sabotage.
Nah. That's for real though.
Every time. And the reality is to not change it because the reality is to be aware. The awareness, once you are aware and you see how much you do it, you'll naturally want to change it.
So you touched on this a little bit because you was like, here in this space, you see people who are showing up in their full self, fearless, right?
True that.
I want you to speak to that a little bit more. What's happening here? For the people who are not here with us, can you explain what that is?
Man, honestly, for me, especially being a newbie, coming in, it's so beautiful to see. Because I feel like I've always been in search for that collective group of like-minded individuals that want to do things in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only for yourselves, but for others. Like, and it feels like that's an easy thing to find out here, a group of people like that, but it's really not.
Yeah, it's not.
And sometimes I would find myself, like, assimilating to certain cliques and doing certain things and just trying to be a part of certain things, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, this is a group of really fierce individuals that work as a collective boy, that's something special.
Yeah.
That is something amazing to be a part of right there, man. Like when everybody has a plan to attack certain things and everybody is playing their part, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody can't be the head or the feet or the arms or the legs, like, but that's how the body works.
That's right.
Like everybody has a certain part to play,
but that's what LG is about. And to speak to what you asked, this is a safe space.
Man.
Yeah.
I say safe in the fact that it is a space where you are seen, you are acknowledged, you are respected, you are valued, you are loved. And it only allows you to do what? Be your best self.
Be your best self, man.
And we've cultivated a system or a foundation to where it's not chaos. But the reality is everybody can't do all the jobs. Somebody got to be the hand.
Man.
Somebody got to be the elbow. Somebody got to be the foot.
Right.
Somebody got to be the knee. And we're honest with how we show up.
That's right.
So when we fit into the appropriate spaces and places, we do what? Nothing but thrive.
That's right.
It's the best knee right there. It's the best elbow.
That's
it's the
the
best
best knee.
finger. It's the best all the
Listen.
things. You know what I'm saying?
You hit on something that I took a note about earlier. We was talking about respect.
Ooh.
I heard him say it.
I did.
Yeah.
Come around
Listen,
to it.
man.
Because that's fundamental. That's first things first,
That's
ain't it?
first though, really.
That's
Like
first
if you
things first.
don't have that respect, I'm talking about real respect, not that fake imitation, watered down respect. You know what I'm saying? That you're gonna give somebody, nah, like like, you're not supposed to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's really that RESPECT
Come on.
respect.
You're going to find out what it means to me.
It's different. It's different.
No, it is.
Different.
It is.
Come on.
I walk into this place every time, and it's the immediate energy I feel before I even open the door is it's about to be love. And I say love in just the fact that like I'm gonna come into this space, and no matter how I think I'm showing up, because that's me. You know me. I can be late. You know, I'm a busy man. All the things, right? But I walk into this place every time, and it's nothing but respect.
Right.
It's nothing but. Oh, he did make time for us because we do matter. Oh, and it don't matter that he's late, but he's here and he's ready to show. Like, instead of me coming in and feeling like, oh, there's one person who's over me because I'm late. And no, like, we know he's going to be late, but also he's ready. No, for real. We know he's going to be late, but he's going to show up. He's going to be Jordan. He's going to do the right thing.
But Slick, you be on time. Like,
come on, every time.
You be right every time. You be on time every time.
Show up and show out. It's something to say about that. When it's not like at that specific time, but when you do show up, woo.
No, she said that Emmy has mentioned it to me several times. She was like, because I brought it to her attention, but she'd be like, it don't matter. She said, because you show up on time all the time.
That's hard.
Laughed, but I said, she's probably right. And so I actually am working to sit into that more and own that more instead of trying to change that about myself. Yeah. She said it very powerfully because she said, think about it. She said, when you came that one time and it was right? She said, if you had got there before, it would have been crazy. But when you got there, what happened? I said, yep. And she said, just think about it every time. Yeah. So what we prayed for, what we manifested or wanted and believed this space to be, what we wanted this community to encompass are the things that we are actively doing, which allow it to be a safe space to where everybody is respected. Right. Yeah. Everybody is loved and valued, and everybody is seen for who they are. Right. I'm not over here thinking you can do more than what you can do because you've already shown up as what you can do, so I know where to put you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I was like, am I sure I should be the director? But the reality is, yeah, you should.
Dr. J said this, and it has stuck with me, is when it comes to people, the only thing you can trust is that they'll be themselves.
Every time. Somebody say it one more time. No, say it one more time for them. They gotta get it.
The only thing you can trust is that they will be themselves. You can't push someone to do something that they're not used to doing. They have to come around to that for themselves. True that. And however they show up, that's who they are.
Right. Come on. And sometimes those things take time to reveal.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
But also, I think our first selves know ourselves well enough to know. Ooh, no. Maybe one more time. Or absolutely yes.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those three responses or some variation of that. Right. But also, if we lie to ourselves and we get to a place to where we've made somebody who they never were, we got to check ourselves and be like, how do we do that?
That's good.
Because everybody's going to show up as themselves always.
Right.
If I take your actions, and it's been consistent for months. If I take your actions and I make them in my head something completely different than what is being displayed in front of me, I'm setting myself up for failure every time. And we do it all the time. And so I'm saying, when you see somebody, the very first time when you see somebody, I promise y'all, I'm speaking to you over there, I'm speaking to myself, but when you see somebody the first time, your spirit says yes, no. Your spirit says yes, no. And there's a maybe in there sometimes, and that maybe it can be a yes if this actually shows up differently. But it's usually a yes or a no. If you make that no a yes, understand you played yourself and you set yourself up to go through an experience to learn something, as opposed to saying, listening to yourself and saying no and moving on.
That's good.
No, I'm so serious. We will take our processes in life and make them longer when we make no's yeses. The moment you hear a no, just go with it. Understand you ain't missing out on nothing. Understand it's not lacking nothing. Right. Understand that the first immediate response was a no.
Right.
If you take it and make it a yes, just decide then, I'm about to go through a process.
It's a learning experience.
It's a learning experience. Yeah,
absolutely.
As opposed to saying no and going with it. Because if you say no and go with it, right, you grow immediately. You grow immediately. In that moment, you grow because you're able to identify and recognize. But if you want to go through a process, make that no a yes.
Yeah.
It's still the same journey.
It's still the same journey.
But one's quicker than the other. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be always honest with ourselves.
And I'm just to touch on that, man. Sometimes I feel like that I don't have enough time to make the time for that growth. You know what I'm saying? Or to learn that lesson. And I feel like I got so much going on, man. I don't have the time to really. But like, you really got to respect the fact that when people do make the time to accept that and embrace it and go through that growth or that lesson, even if it's a hard knock lesson that you had to learn, listen, man, you have to respect the fact the time that you took or you made.
That's right.
That you made for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
People gotta respect that, man.
So I want to thank y'all for making the time to be here. Was that a good segue? Look, I do what I can. Thank y'all for taking a seat at the table.
Thank you.
And we're going to spend a little time with John Joe, one-on-one. And then lastly, we have our segment, Golden Molasses. Okay. What's up, John Joe?
What's up, man?
I'm so glad you're here.
Man, I'm so excited to be here, too, man. I can't lie. For real.
You every time I'm with you dropping gems on me.
Stop it.
I feel like I just want to give him the space to just say like 10 things real quick. No, seriously. Seriously. So, what's happening in your life right now? Share with us, just as an artist. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you got going on.
My name is John Joe. I am John Joe. I've always been John Joe.
Forever?
Forever.
Okay.
But yeah, man, right now, going on in the city, I got this thing coming up with the Frisch Art Museum.
What?
Yeah. It's called Guitar Town Today.
Okay.
And man, honestly, when I was hit up about this, somebody that we know.
Stop it. Wait, is this the thing? Is this okay?
Put a bug in somebody's ear. So Mark Scala, the head curator at the Frisch Art Museum, he hit me up and was like, I'm putting together this exhibit and I want to showcase the way Nashville looks today. Mm-hmm. Like the urban aspect of it. I don't want to put on the same old people doing the same guitar thing. And he told me that somebody told him that I know a guy, because, you know, when I'm taking pictures, like, I just want people to see Nashville the way I see Nashville, and it's different.
Your eye goes crazy, by the way.
Man.
Your eye goes crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like, I really, really, really try to be invested in just trying to show a different side of it so you can see. It's a beautiful city. It's full of culture. It's full of so much art. Like, I want to just bring some of that stuff to light. Like murals, beautiful artwork, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a gorgeous city, man. It's not just Broadway. There's a lot of different boroughs and sections in the city. And he was like, yeah, man, I sent him like 25 pictures. And I was like, there's no way that he's going to pick a picture. He ended up picking like 6 pictures.
Oh, wow.
And so the exhibit is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, in April. It's going to run from April to August.
Well, you know I'm there.
There's like 10 other photographers, beautiful photographers in the city, that just give it a different look, a nice, clean, urban, different aspect, like a punk rock look, urban look, like just different things.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's big stuff. That's
y'all
big
made
stuff.
this happen, man, for real. For real.
I mean, it's really us showing up for each other.
True that.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I think that's my favorite thing about the way we all interact is like we're already operating in our gifts and our crafts, and we're disciplined enough to continue that forward. We believe in ourselves, and really, that's just what we do. Like, that's what makes us tick. That's why we're here. Like, many of us are in our purpose. You know what I mean? And we found each other in that respect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite thing about Liberated Grounds is the fact that it's a collective of creatives, not just artists, not just visual performing dancers. I mean, creators. You know what I mean? It's people coming into this space who might not identify as a creative, might not identify as an artist, but once they get in this space, they're like, you know what? Actually, I do have some gifts.
I do that.
I can do that.
I can do that. Nah, for real. And that's what I love about this place. Like I said, man, every individual in here has their own strength. And that's what brings a good team together. You know, everybody can't be the quarterback. Somebody got to block. You know, somebody got to run the ball. And that's what I love about the aspect of here. Like, every individual has so much talent in their area, in their field, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, we like the Avengers. You know what I mean?
I know somebody who said the exact same thing.
I'm telling you. What
is it about the superheroes?
Because it's like, you know, they can save their own city when they want to, man, and they get together, and this guy's saving this city, and this guy's saving this city. But man, when the Avengers come together, man, we can save the world.
Ooh.
The whole universe.
That's good.
Come on, man.
That's good. I'm not like a superhero person.
But y'all gonna feel me.
No, I feel you though. I feel you.
Put that right there.
And now I gotta go watch the Avengers. They got a new one out. Is it a new one out? No, I saw like Aquaman or something, right? Is he a part of the Avengers?
That is not a part of the
He's not a
Avengers,
part of
but he is a part of this Justice League. It's the same collective.
Okay, same
Superheroes. It's all
Justice
the case.
League.
Yeah, it's different.
And is that DC or Marvel?
That's the war going on right now.
I've got questions. Okay.
Get out of here, man.
Whew. No. But I really, you're not the first person who said that. So it's like I should get in tune because
You should.
I want to know.
Nah,
I want to know. Can y'all stop laughing? We're trying to record over here.
Everybody know me. I'm gonna bring up a superhero analogy, man.
That's good. Okay, so a couple questions. What does collective work and responsibility mean to you?
Actually, when we all come together and we do our part, like, you know, the other day for the Sunday dinner, I couldn't make the dinner, but I could help come set up the table and all the stuff to go on with it. You know, everybody's playing.
It was a beautiful table, by the way.
I didn't have. It wasn't all me. It was a collective. And we all did our thing to make sure that the table was dope. And
you noticed the table?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's what
we told him that it expands.
It does, man. This table
and then,
takes up the whole room.
But then it like folds up to nothing too. It's crazy.
That's the beautiful.
Crazy.
That's the beautiful.
That's
thing.
us, right?
Yeah. No, that's for
it
real.
It represents us.
That's for real. Like, that's how the collective works, though. And that's what blows my mind, though. A lot of people, I want to do this, and I want the credit for this, and I want this to be this. But, like, we can all eat, you know? Instead of, like, trying to have all the cake for ourselves, man. Like, if you might not eat if you're out here trying to get all the pieces for yourself.
That's
but
right.
If
you
we
starving.
If we all hunting for this collective piece of the pie, like, we all have a cake. Here's your slices. You know? Like, that's what I really love about this.
Yeah, same. And if I use an analogy right there, I'm about to stretch it. Y'all know I'm going to stretch it.
Just come on with it.
But if you reverse engineer the idea of the starving artist, if we all get in the kitchen together, the buffet going to be silly.
Man, come on, man. That's how it works.
Just sous chefing.
Yeah.
Like, everybody don't have to be the master chef. We already got Arba for that. We sous chefing.
I love that.
That's beautiful.
Man.
Another question. What's your favorite discipline? Eat well, sleep well, or be well?
Oh, man. You know what? I know y'all thinking I'm going to say eat. But it ain't that.
We wasn't going to say that.
It's be well.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
That's important, man. It is important that you are well, that you are okay. Like, and especially like, and I don't want to say that it just exists today, but I'm glad that we are aware today that mental health and your stability is extremely important. You know, and I didn't have that growing up, and I don't think a lot of people understood. There was a big taboo about that, especially in the Black community.
Absolutely.
That, you know, I don't need that. Like, I'm just going to tough through it or man through this thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to keep my head down and keep working, man. And that is stressful.
Yes, it is.
So I think the be well part of it, for me personally, is so important, man.
Yeah.
And everybody really checks on each other. Like, even that one day when I was here and I was taking pictures and we was having the brunch.
Yes.
You know? And I was taking pictures and y'all was like, nah, you need to sit down and eat.
That's us.
That's important.
That's us.
You know what I'm saying?
We just checking for each other.
That's important, man.
It be the little things.
It be the little things, and that sat with me. Even though it might not have sat with that, sat with me. Like, yo, they really want you to be okay here.
And see, last week, that's crazy, guys. I was about to say the little wins, but the little things turn into little wins.
They do.
Because once you're full, you can do more things for self and others.
That's a dub.
That's the gem we just dropped. Nugget.
That's a W.
That's a W, ain't
That
it?
is a W, man.
Okay, last question.
Shoot it.
When people think of liberation, they're typically thinking of an actual time, space and time, right?
Right.
So what does the day after liberation look like? If there's actual space and time for us to get to liberation, what does the day after liberation look like?
It's peaceful, man.
Okay.
It's mad peaceful for me in my mind. I think, you know, and I mean, I don't want to be corny and say, you know, sunsets and birds chirping, but when you really have the time to enjoy that versus like worrying about what you're going to do I have enough time to even enjoy this? Man, I got to get to the house. Like, I can't be sitting outside, like, looking at these birds. Like, if you don't have that in the back of your mind and in your conscience and weighing on your heart and your spirit, like, I feel like that peace is going to be so beautiful. Is
there a way we get to this place, time and space sooner, like, what is that?
I think it's all a collective effort. Like, I think, you know, and I don't want to go down no crazy path, but like, I think if we all
go down the crazy path,
if we all decide to start working collectively on certain things and topics and issues in the community instead of just being upset about them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's a lot of people that's just beating the drum and pointing out certain things that's happening that's negative and horrible, but nobody's coming to the table with some solutions for these horrible things.
That's
like,
right.
The line for the complaint is like this. And like, this is the section of people that's working on solutions, you know? So I'm like, if we can get a lot of y'all over here that's beating the drum on the complaining side to come over here and work on these community solutions with us, like, we won't be worried about what's happening in these certain segments and with the politics and the streets and the police and
that's
all
right.
this stuff. Like, we can be our own community. Like, and that's what I think that we're trying to build here.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying. We doing it, ain't we?
You feel me?
We doing it.
But at the same time, like, I feel like it's too many complaints and not enough people at least being like, well, what did you do about it?
That's right.
What's the next step?
You know, the councilman was like, Liberated Ground's doing something about it. I was like, yeah,
You at least having conversations about it.
Because who we waiting on to save us?
Who are we waiting on to save us? Who gonna fix the situation? They not. They not finna come up off the hill and rescue us.
They're not. That's not happening. That's not happening.
You got at some point in time, you got to figure out the solutions and rescue yourselves out of these situations. Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I didn't mean to go off on the deep.
Nah, we going off on the deep end. Well, shout out to John Joe. Thank you for joining us at Liberated Grounds today.
Thank you for having me.
Well,
for real.
We might have you another time soon.
I hope so. I appreciate it. I love y'all, man. Y'all stay blessed.
Peace. All right, y'all. So we are finally at the segment called Golden Molasses, where we drop a nugget and then we wind it down. I'm going to keep it going, reading from the journal, straight into the next piece. It said, level up, thoughts, humility. This says November 7th, 2018. I was in a hotel room at 10:38 p.m. I feel like writing, so here goes. 2017, God told me I'll be somebody when I follow him. 2018, God sat me down, didn't break me down, just said make me proud. 2019, I stood up, I came up, I bossed up. I got fed up with the silly stuff, and I knew then it was in the dust. God said then to go live my dreams, and I'll keep pushing on to my destiny. So if I look back and I turn to salt, hell, I knew better. That's my own fault. So I grind like never before, rose out the mud, and I take it slow, because if I move too fast, lessons won't be learned. So rewind this verse, because it's your turn. Learn the lesson. Thank you all for joining us tonight. At Liberated Grounds has been absolutely beautiful. Again, shout out to Jordan Holland. I am John Joe. Go check them out on their Instagram pages. Go follow them. They have some beautiful things happening. And we look forward to seeing you next week right here at the table at Liberated Grounds. Peace.